This episode of Small Business Leaders Podcast is brought to you by Adams Lane Photography. Hi, and welcome to the Small Business Leaders Podcast, coming to you from Kernersville, North Carolina, and the Legacy Podcast Studio. My name is Audra Adams, and this is my co-host, Lamar Powell.
Thank you, sister-in-law. Appreciate that.
That too.
Thank you for joining us today. We've had a lot of people at our podcast from different venues in the business world. Today is different. I'm excited about it because we have Michelle Spark, who is the owner of Limitless Bossability, LLC. What a name.
I know.
But she's an Army veteran. We're going to find out about that and about her business sense, and she's got a lot of it. So let's get started.
Welcome to Michelle Spark. Thank you so much for being here on our podcast. We have really been looking forward to this interview, and especially Lamar.
I have been.
Yes. For like, what, a year?
Probably a year and a half. And I think even before we started our this particular podcast, I had wanted to have you on here, and for a lot of reasons. And so I'm excited that you're here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I appreciate the invite.
So where we always start is we want to know how you got to where you got.
Ooh,
So
a little background?
we're going to background this just a little bit. So tell us what your vocation was before. Actually, tell us this. What is the name of your company and what does it do?
Well, I just rebranded
Okay.
the Lady Wealth Warrior.
Love it.
Yes. And I provide business coaching and I help women, female entrepreneurs, build thriving online businesses by following simple marketing strategies. Help them monetize on socials.
I love that. Now,
Yeah.
I want to know what you did before you did that.
Well, funny story. I joined the Army at 17.
Are you allowed to do that at 17?
Yep.
Did you lie?
No, 17 years
can
old.
do that?
Yeah, 16 is the youngest, actually. You can join the Army
did
at
not know
16,
that.
yes. So I joined the Army right out of high school. I spent 33 years in the Army. I retired 3.5, almost 4 years ago. And
Can I just say thank you?
yeah, appreciate your support.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Don't get me to cry. Because I am an American through and
Yes.
through.
I love your cup
Absolutely.
sitting
Your
here.
Right?
Cup
I got,
is
my
amazing.
American, I got my American flag cup. Right?
Yeah.
You
So-
earned that. You earned those stripes. And
33 years.
33 years in a row.
Wow.
So I actually, it's such a funny story and I love telling it. I'm one of those people that has a hard time saying no. So if an encyclopedia man came to my door, I'd have a set of encyclopedias.
What about the rainbow vacuum
Yep,
cleaners?
got one. Own it.
Yeah.
Kirby, got one. Yeah, I have it. So a recruiter came to my door and I was like, okay. So I joined the Army.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Where are you originally from, though?
New England, New Hampshire.
Okay, I felt like it was
Yes,
northern.
Yes.
But I didn't know for sure.
You can take the girl out of New England, but you can't take the New England out of the girl. So, but 2 years later, I got activated for Desert Storm.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
That's a
19
big
years
one.
old, right? I'm
Wow.
still a teenager.
Okay.
I'm thinking I'm invincible.
But what part were you playing in? Like, what was your specific specialty?
My job, I was an admin specialist.
Okay.
Well, technically finance. When I first joined the Army, I was a finance specialist. So I basically helped soldiers get paid. I handled all of their, payments and helping them make sure they got their money. I got activated for Desert Storm. Oh my God, I was shaking in my boots. Like, what are you talking about? I only came in for the college money. Like, what do you mean? I actually just had braces put on. So when I went to, go through the MOB site to get checked for everything, they called me non-deployable because I was a high-risk dental casualty. And if I was like at the end of my treatment, they'd have just ripped him off and I'd have went. But I had like just started. Like I was like barely a year in. So they were like, yeah, we can't send her. So I was like, what? And then I had to watch all my friends leave. So that was rough.
Yeah, sure.
That was rough. But that was, I was a reservist at the time. So when I first came in, it was part-time. And then I went active duty after that. So I did 26 years in active duty and the rest of it was reserve time. So total time in service was 33 years.
And did you do the same job the whole time?
No, I changed jobs a few times. The last job I had was I was an operations NCO because I retired as a master sergeant in E8. And I absolutely love my job. I was in charge of a battalion. I was one step under the sergeant major. And I really, really loved my job. But the saying is true. They tell you when you are ready for retirement, you'll know.
Okay.
And I knew. I was like, and I'm out.
Yeah.
How do I get out of here? Okay.
Yeah.
So when I was done, everybody was said, because I'm such a workhorse. I'm so into what I do.
Mm-hmm.
People were like, you're going to miss it. You're going to hate leaving. I'm like, huh, you think? I'm like, nah, I haven't even looked back. Did I love my time? Do I miss all the great people? Absolutely. But I haven't looked back. Like, I love what I'm doing now. And I truly believe with every fiber of my being that time in the Army has prepared me for
Absolutely.
this part of being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
I mean, just the structure.
Yep.
And also, you were working in finance. You
Yep.
saw how things
Yep.
built upon other things and how the cog, if you will,
Yes.
had to work
Yep.
for that wheel to keep turning.
Yep.
That was a very intricate part
Yep.
of your training. And then that training for 33 years,
Right.
now it's second nature.
Exactly. And I was a leader for 25 of those 33. So when I became a community leader, it was like nothing to me because I'm like, I've done this in my sleep.
Yeah.
So it was very natural for me
Sure.
because running a community is hard. It's a lot of work. And I did it with soldiers, So I'll be honest with you. I have been trying to start my own online business and be an entrepreneur for decades, like the time of AOL and dial-up modems, okay? I have been trying since then, failing time and time.
And
and
why were
time
you
again.
interested in doing that?
I don't know. I think I've always had an entrepreneur heart.
Yeah.
I had a paper route at 9.
Yeah.
My dad used to take me around with my little red wagon and all the papers, and that's what I did. I loved it. I don't know what I honestly don't know what it was. I've tried every MLM under the sun, everything, and I just couldn't figure it out. I couldn't make it work. Like I didn't have the right guidance, the right teaching, the right leadership, if you will. So
And then you probably were dealing with time too because your job.
yes, I couldn't give up the steady paycheck, so I was just like doing it in my spare time. So technically, like I remember this 2-year period, it was like I worked 2 jobs because I would come home, make dinner for the family, and then when the kids went to bed, it was okay. Now for another 5 hours, I'm going to work this job. So it was hard, but I failed and I failed and I failed. And a true entrepreneur, they don't quit.
No.
They don't. We're the 1% crazy.
Yeah.
We are the 1% crazy.
And it's really not a fail either, is it? Because it's a learning.
Correct. Right. So you think of
Opportunity.
it as a failure, but it's really like, okay, well, that didn't work, so let's try the next way.
right.
Oh, that didn't work either. Let's try the next way. So you keep learning from your failure. So this is what I tell people. Fail faster. Okay? Because then you'll learn what not to do so you know what actually to do.
Really, what you're teaching people to do and what your failures, quote unquote, were teaching you is infrastructure and
Correct.
workflow.
Yeah.
And now you are duplicating
Yes.
that in some way,
100%.
which is how you make the passive income
Yes.
and other
Yes.
things to keep coming up with the ideas. But it seems like now there's a flow, and I don't
Yeah.
even know all the things that you know about it. So
It's fascinating to me. But before we could dive into that, how did you end up in the triad?
I want to know that too.
Okay. So my son's dad and I, we split up. And I was still active duty. I had like 8 years to go before I retired. He was already retired. Good guy, great guy. Wouldn't have a bad word to say about him. I didn't want my son in daycare before and after school. Dad was home. So I'm like, so he stayed with Dad. Dad moved down here.
Why?
Because his sisters lived down here. So he had family down here. So
Okay.
he had a home down here. He had bought a home previously. So he moved down here with my youngest son. And so when I retired at my home in Virginia. And I'm up there for about a year. And I'm like, why am I here? I got no family here. I've got no friends here. I just happen to own a home here. So I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to, because I owned a home in North Carolina too. So I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to go live where my kids are. So I have
Absolutely.
2 boys. I have a 30-year-old and a 24-year-old. My 24-year-old is currently enrolled in the Army at His AIT, his training. I don't want to say I talked him into it, but okay, I talked him into
Okay.
it.
Well, that's fine.
But he's
You
happy.
led him
I
into
did. I led him into it. It just took him his own time. Like I wasn't pushy, but I just kept bringing it up. Like, I know you'll do really good in the Army. He did awesome in JROTC. So I knew the Army was a good fit for him. It just, he had to come to it on his own time.
Mm-hmm.
And he did. And he was finally like, all right, Mom, I think I'm ready to join the Army. So, yeah, he's at Fort Lee, Virginia right now. I know they changed the names. I don't know what it is. But so his dad and my son, I left him here, and I'm so glad I did. And I didn't move him around with me because he's got a good group of friends. He's got a good, in the community. He
That's
played
such
sports.
a sacrifice,
It
too.
was, because I traveled like a mad woman to be with my children. So every weekend, no matter where I lived, I traveled home. Pittsburgh, 7 hours one way. Virginia, 3 hours one way, and some of those I did a turn and burn for a football game or a wrestling match. So it was a huge sacrifice.
So your
but
children knew you were there for them.
Oh, yeah,
It wasn't
all the
just
time.
like, oh, go live with Dad, and I'm going to
Correct.
just do this.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yep.
proud
Thank you for
mama,
that.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
It was hard,
Yeah.
but those are some of the sacrifices that
Yeah.
that the soldiers go through just to be with their families.
So you have this entrepreneur spirit inside of you. I can relate to that too. The newspapers, cutting grass,
Right.
pull the lawnmower behind my
There you
bicycle, get that $5 per yard back in the day. But that was fun. So I understand that. But you got involved with the online digital marketing. That's a fascinating thing to me as well, because I've watched people over the years just, create some wealth for themselves.
Yes.
And also, I'm a statistic guy. She's a touchy-feely, the emotional side, which we need. We need
Right.
that for sure.
I don't know how to take that.
That's good. Yeah, no, it's a good
Touchy-feely.
thing.
Can we get
That's what I
another-
love about you, sister-in-law, is
Can we get
that.
another couple adjectives here?
But I know, because I look at the stats all the time, I know that digital marketing is huge.
It is.
So I know it's like $750 billion right now. In the next 6 years, it's supposed to double to $1.5 trillion. This is what's cool about it. A lot of that money's here in the U.S., but the majority of it, probably 3/4 of that money, is being made through individuals and all through social media. That's where the money's being made. So that's what is attractive about this. And I know one of the courses that I've been a part of and watched, and we'll talk about that a little bit. And you can
Yeah.
help direct me.
Well, the first thing is, before we get to that, I want to know, so you had all these MLMs and none of them really worked out. I'm sure a lot of them did for a moment, and then
Right.
it's just too hard to replicate yourself and to duplicate the situation. You're constantly having to find new clientele,
Yep.
and it starts to feel a little bit, because I've been involved in several that I believed in,
Right.
but it just became like my circle is only my circle,
Right.
and I can't make that any bigger. And so when things change, you almost feel like you're a peddler
Right.
of sorts.
Exactly.
Like, here's some snake oil. So after you failed this many times, where did you start? And in this particular thing that you started seeing tractions, because I think that that's going to lead into
It will.
what
Yeah,
you
well, and that's really, that's exactly where I was going to lead you, because I think it's an amazing thing.
okay.
So, yeah.
So tell
So-
me.
That's
with
why
the-
you're doing this. Yeah.
He touched me.
So with the with the MLMs, okay, if I'd have known then what I know now, my success would have been completely different. All right.
Okay.
But the term digital marketing is not thought of in the right context.
Right.
Digital
Tell me how.
marketing is just marketing on the digitals. Marketing digitally, not in a phone book, not in a newspaper, not in a TV ad, not in a billboard. It's marketing on the social media, on Google ads, Facebook ads. That's literally what digital marketing is. So when you market digitally, that's how you get your product and your name and your brand and your business out there. So, but anyways, so from the MLMs, I actually invested in this other program, $25,000, because I believe in myself, and I believe when you make an investment in a business, you're making an investment in yourself. And as long as you believe you can do this, and I knew I'm a workhorse. Whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do. So I'm doing the thing. Turns out they were a big scam.
Oh,
I got scammed out of $25,000. Tell me I didn't feel stupid with a capital S, right?
Oh
Big
my
S on my chest.
God.
But that happens, right? I did end up getting like, I think $3,000 back after the FTC shut them down and everything went through the courts and the lawyers got most of the money. I did end up getting like $3,000 back. So, but I learned a lesson. I learned a huge lesson.
Which was what?
Careful who you do business with. Plain and simple, just be careful who you get into business with, because it does matter. Their reputation matters, you know.
So for our listeners and our viewers, when you look at and you say know who you're getting into business with and their reputation matters, how do you research that now? How would our listeners and viewers go about?
Just look them up on Google. Just do a simple Google search. Do a search on your scam sites, because there's other people that will report things that happen to them from these people. So if you find those sites and you just do a simple Google search, you'll find information, whether positive, whether negative. You'll find that information.
Okay, perfect. I'm sorry to stop you there, but I definitely
No worries.
always want to be aware, even though
Yes.
we're talking, that they're listening,
Yes.
and we need to know all the little intricate things.
Because it does matter.
Yeah.
It really does matter. Just do a simple search, and it won't take but a few minutes so that you can find out, okay, I don't know if they're really reputable, but they're not terrible. They're
Gotcha.
not bad. You know what I mean? Because people start from zero. Everybody starts from zero. So you might not find anything on a person because they're just starting. So that's where you got to get to know them. And you follow them for a while and you talk to them and you get in their circle or in their group so that you can learn about them. And then you can make your own decision from
Gotcha.
there, especially when they're new. So after that whole fiasco, I'm telling you, I tried so many programs, so many courses. And the problem was nobody was giving me the step by step.
Okay.
Okay. So I got this piece and I got this piece over here and I totally understand this piece, but like, okay, how do you make that work? So it was, all right, so you got to pick a product. All right, I got the product. I know what I'm going to sell. I got this affiliate program over here. I'm going to sell this. All right, cool. All right, well, you got to build a funnel for that product. All right, what the hell's a funnel? I don't even know what a funnel is. What's a funnel? It's just a fancy word for website. That's it. Okay. But okay, figured it out. Learned, build. Okay, look, awesome. Got a funnel. Sweet. Okay, now you got to build some emails. Okay, how do I do that? Okay, learn that. Yeah, learn that whole email thing. And then it was, all right, now you got to drive traffic. All right, awesome. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, where? How do I do that? Right? Well, you got to go on your socials and you got to promote it on your socials. All right, awesome. Yeah, cool. Okay, what do I say? Like, I don't know what to say on my show. Like, nobody would put all the pieces together in one place so that I can go step by step by step and be, because now I'm telling you, and I say this to my students all the time, when you have that aha moment, it's like, wow.
Because before that, basically, you're taking spaghetti and throwing it up against the wall to see what sticks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get that, and I get that, and I get that, but how do you make it all work? So what I did when I got into the affiliate marketing space, because that's kind of where I started my whole digital journey, is I got into affiliate marketing. And affiliate marketing is just simply promoting other people's products. Yeah. You don't have to create it. You don't have to make it. You don't have to buy it. You just promote someone else's products. It has to be, it doesn't have to be, but it should be something that you use, something that you love, something that you can recommend to a friend. So it's like saying, hey, did you try out that awesome restaurant? It's really cool. You should give it a shot. And they're like, yeah, okay. What'd you have? Oh, I didn't go there, man, but it's really good. Like, how would you recommend something you've never tried, right? Affiliate marketing is the same way. When you love a product, so easy to talk about, okay? So I started with affiliate marketing, and I started with a program who shall remain nameless, and they went from $7 to a very large upsell. I bought the upsell. I believe in me, right? It's an investment in me. I got this. Yeah, I didn't have this. The course was like, right over my head, like, how do you do that? What? Huh? Like the pieces were still not together. So because I am who I am and I've got the experience that I have, I reverse engineered someone else's process. Yeah. And I'm like,
you believe in you.
Exactly. I believe in me. So I did it. I was like, all right, yeah. All right, so you promote on your socials. What do I say? I was still at that. I don't know what to say to get people to buy my stuff, right? So I started going live on TikTok, all right? I'm in my 50s, okay? I'm not a 20-year-old. It was scary. Like my very first TikTok video, if you have any time, check it out. It's hysterical. So funny, but I did it. I ripped the Band-Aid off and I did it. And then I just started going live. The first couple of lives, awkward. That's the only word I got.
Yeah.
Because like I didn't know what I could do, what I could say, what I couldn't say. What should I say? What do people want to hear? Then I started teaching. Now, when I was growing up in high school, all of my teachers thought I would be a teacher.
Oh.
They all thought I would be a teacher,
Because you're a communicator.
I guess. So I started teaching on my lives, and I started teaching people things like this is how you make a website on Canva. This is how you build a funnel. This is how you do an email. Anything I knew that I learned, I started teaching on lives. People loved it. I started selling the crap out of my stuff.
That's awesome.
Okay?
That's awesome.
Then my life blew up. I got divorced. I had to leave, like in the middle of the night kind of situation, right? Pack a truck, see you later, bye. And I had to move. So I moved and I tried to continue. And then I'm not quite sure what happened with that program, but I started promoting another program, made a little bit of money. Then I started promoting another affiliate program, made a little bit more money. Mm-hmm. So I was starting to really grasp the concept of what to do. Mm-hmm. But I always started back at zero. Like if I didn't go live, I wasn't making any money.
Yeah.
There was never like, okay, here's another day. It's time to make some money, you know?
Yeah.
So if you don't have something that works for you on autopilot, you've got to continuously hustle for your sales. And I didn't like that.
No.
I didn't like that. So the affiliate program that I was promoting at the time, I was doing really, really well. 13 sales a week. I think it was like $103 a sale, right? So I was making like $1,300 a week. I'm like, sweet, nice little income coming in. I love that. Going live, having fun. It was a good time. He changed the program. Like it's his program. He's allowed to change it. It's his, right? But it was so hard to sell now. He like took all the meat out of it.
Oh.
So it was so hard for me to sell. So I went from 13 sales a week, top of all of his leaderboards, to like 2 sales a week. And I'm like, dude, you're taking
cannot make rent on that or a mortgage.
So I'm like, I can't. So I'm like, oh, I got to create my own course. I was having that feeling of it's so hard to create a course because it is. It's a lot of work to create a course. And I already knew this being in the space as long as I have. I didn't want to do it. I was like, oh, I was fighting it, but I was only making a couple of sales. I was like, wow, what am I going to do? And that's when I found out about master resale rights. That's when I was scrolling through TikTok like most of us do. How do I make money online? And I found master resale rights. So I was intrigued. Now I knew what master resale rights was from years ago.
So
okay.
Can we tell everybody what
Sure.
I do, but
Right.
But I don't.
So master resale rights is basically someone else creates a product and you either buy it or download it if you're a member of their website.
Okay.
And then you can resell it. Sometimes you can rebrand them, rename them, but you resell it. So
Okay.
you download a product to your computer and then you go ahead and sell it.
Okay.
So you didn't create it, right? That
Right.
kind of takes half the work out because the first half is creating it, second half is selling it, right?
Yeah.
So you take the first half out. So it allows people that just get started in business to jumpstart their business because they don't have to create a product. So I'm listening to this lady talk about her digital marketing training course with Master Resale Rights. Again, I already knew what Master Resale Rights were, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, now my eyes are wide, and I'm like listening, okay? And then I just kind of, I thought about it. So the next day, same thing, scrolling through TikTok, see her again, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to ask some questions. So I asked her, okay, so you mean to tell me that I can download your course videos, upload them to a platform of my choice, and resell it? Rebrand it and resell it? And she goes, yep. I was like, oh, take my money. Because now I've got my course that I needed.
Yeah.
I didn't have to create it.
This is awesome.
I was like, wow, how did this fall into my lap? I felt so lucky, right? So the very first course that came out with digital marketing training course, again, they did not create Master Resale Rights, was Roadmap. Okay, I purchased the roadmap, downloaded those videos, rebranded them, uploaded them to my own platform, and Lipo, Learn and Earn Profits Online, was born. Okay? And because I have the experience, I think the creators of Roadmap were in the space about a year and a half. I had been in the space going on 4 years. So I had already had a lot of knowledge. I just didn't want to make a course. So I had the course. So I started adding my own value into the course, things that I already knew. And then I started having Q&A calls and TikTok Tuesdays and Funnel Fridays, what my audience needed help with.
Gotcha.
How do I build a funnel? Oh, let me help you with that. And we had a Funnel Friday call. So we had calls like 4 days a week to help our community members. Right.
And how did you come up with your community members? What
So-
did that look like?
Okay, so the roadmap, they created this I don't want to call it a hybrid because it's really not, this MRR business model that's out there right now, which is not sustainable for any community or business owner. It's just not sustainable. So any person that sells roadmap goes into their community and then they take care of them.
Gotcha.
So they're not making any money from your sale. If you sell the course and bring people into their community, the community manager's not making any money. So it's not
So
sustainable.
what's the point? So the roadmap then is there a reason for doing it that way because they want to capture emails? Like,
I
what
don't
is their
know.
reasoning for that?
I had no idea.
It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me either. But I just followed suit with what they were doing because that's what they were doing. So I was like, okay. But when they went over to like Roadmap 2.0, when they did an update, I said, you should probably just have a community just for your customers. I kind of like, let's get away from this. Let's take care of your people kind of mentality. But they just continued. Now they're an affiliate program. So they've literally changed from MRR back to an affiliate program because what's happening, unfortunately, with the space, with the MRR space, is we have these lazy entrepreneurs, these people that just want the money. I don't want to help people. I just want the money. So they're making the sale, dumping them in my community, letting Michelle take care of their people, and I'm not getting anything out of it, right? Now I have to, like I've told them many times, I make sales the same way you make sales. I have to sell the course. Unfortunately, now I also have to take care of your people. Yeah, so
That's too much.
Right. So
Because
I
you
did
really need to hire somebody to be taking care of the people.
and I did.
Okay.
I did. I'm spending close to $4,000 a month managing the community and the software. And I don't think anybody really knows that. I don't think anybody
They do
really,
now.
right? They don't understand that it takes time, it takes money, it takes patience, it takes effort, So what happened with the space is these people got lazy thinking, oh, this is easy money because they don't have to really do any work. Now, I'm not saying they don't do anything because they've still got to build their funnel and their sales process the orders and things like that. But that's really it. They don't have to help their members. They should, okay?
Sure.
And we do tell them, hey, if you got a problem, go back to your seller, okay? Because I'd get emails saying, I want a refund. You didn't pay me, so who you want a refund? Why are you emailing me? I get them all day, all the time. I want a refund. You didn't pay me. I'll give you your free 99 back. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to cause a movement. I'm trying to create a movement to bring this MRR space back to the MRR business model. So the course LIPO in January of 2024, I renamed it and revamped it. So it's all my own videos and called it LIPO Max, Learn and Earn Profits Online Max. January is when I launched that. So I want to change the space. I want to create business owners. That's it.
That just has a different ring to it when you say it like that.
Yeah, I love it because I've dabbled in this for some time now. I kind of know quite a bit about it, and I pick up on these sayings, some things you said just recently, some things that you said, exactly what you shared here is I think is important, and you're doing all of this because you want to help eliminate the kind of the fraud in all of this, but genuinely help someone.
Right.
One thing I liked about it, it taught me some things, and really, I'm going to be honest with you, Michelle, this podcast, the courage to jump into this
Love
and
it.
to do this, a lot of it had to do with things that I saw within your course.
Love it.
And it's not just that. And a lot of it I'm familiar with because of my background, businesses that I've been involved in, my own businesses, my wife's business. But this helped me I love the idea of passive income. I love the affiliate marketing side of things.
Yep.
I think it's fascinating. And your course was very good because it's a beginner, even though it's much more than, I hate to just use the word beginner, but
Right.
beginner level.
But it's true.
But
yeah.
it is.
Yep.
But it also goes much deeper than
Correct.
that. But here's the thing that I like about you, and I've read this about you. I've heard you speak to this. Is you're trying to help people create some income and some wealth, and this space is a great place to do that.
Yeah.
Because you can have a regular job and still get yourself trained
Yep.
and educated and do this at home as long as you have a digital device and
Yep.
an internet connection. You can make this happen. And it can be something you're passionate about
Right.
and love.
Yep.
It's not just about the course,
Right.
but something that you love and passionate
So
about.
in your course, so just so I'm clear, the course is about how to do it. It doesn't tell you what product to do, or is the course the product?
The course is a product. Now,
Okay.
as I explained to you before, I had the pieces, but I couldn't put them all together.
Okay.
Okay. I put them all together for people. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. Like everything.
No, I saw it on I
Yeah.
went on your social and
Like-
saw that.
That's what I wish I had when I started this decades ago.
Yeah, and it's a hands-on,
Yep.
step by step. This is hands-on how you do it.
Yep.
The type of course,
Correct.
which is great because a lot of us, that's how we need to learn. Not
Yep.
just reading it. Let's do it.
Yep.
And so you covered all these different
Okay.
Yep.
platforms and
Yeah, no, I mean, like
software.
today,
So-
I think your banner is how to turn Instagram
IG profile profit
profits.
secrets.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So
Yep.
sorry, I didn't know exactly.
you're
but,
fine, yeah.
But that caught my attention.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we need that.
See? And that's what you got to do. You got to put yourself out there to help other people solve their problems. So one of the big things I was trying to create with my course, and this is what I have, this is my message from the very beginning. You do not need to sell the course. I actually recommend that you don't. Okay? However, if you want to start your own business, but you're like, I have no idea what to sell, Michelle. I have no idea what to start with. I need a product. You need something to sell in order to make money, online or offline. Doesn't matter. You need a product or a service. Okay? So if you don't have one, oh, look, we've got a course right here for you. So you can practice learning how to market that product,
Perfect.
because you have to learn how to market it. In order to sell anything, you've got to market that product. People have to know about your product, and that's the point of driving traffic, marketing your product. So in order to learn how to market a product, you have to have a product, right? It's like learning how to ride a bike, but you ain't got a bike. How you gonna learn how to ride a bike, right? So you got to have a product to practice with. So use the course until you start figuring out in this space what you enjoy doing. I have one of my coaches that turned into a TikTok expert. Going through the course, going through talking to people. She's like, I really love talking about TikTok. She became a TikTok expert. So you don't keep selling the course. You now create your own course about TikTok or Instagram or Pinterest or whatever it may be, whatever your specialty is. But I also have a couple of videos in the course to teach you how you can use the course for your current business.
Okay.
Like a lawn mowing service, you know?
Okay, so now I have a question there. So you've sold the course, you continue to do all these things. Okay, so you have a TikTok person taking off right here. Do you have residual off of this?
I don't know.
So your whole thing is just you
Learn.
sell the
Yep.
course and you learn and you continue to put that product out there.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Now I do have like affiliate links in there. Like if they sign up for a platform, like that's my affiliate link.
Okay.
Okay. So if they sign up, I get a little commission. So that would be, I guess you could say, what I would get paid for running the community or the course, I guess
Okay.
you could say. But once you have your own course and you have software that you use, like there's a software I use called repurpose.io, and it allows you to take one video and repurpose it to multiple platforms automatically. So all I do is create an Instagram reel and poof, it comes over to TikTok. Once I post it on TikTok, poof, it goes on to YouTube Shorts and it goes on to Pinterest Idea Pins. I don't have to do anything. I just got to pay a monthly fee, right? You see what I mean? So you just pay the monthly fee, you talk about that product and you say, oh, hey, use my link and you get, 14-day free trial, whatever it is, if there's any discount like that. But you just give them your link and I can talk about it because I love it. I use it. I love it. And it works for me.
So, okay, another question. Yeah, I thought you were going to
No,
do
I love
other
it.
questions.
Oh, good, but I love every bit of it.
I know I'm so
getting it.
touchy-feely.
No,
about
I
but
love it.
I'm actually
She's a good
business-
teacher too, because now
Yes,
you
she is.
know.
I
You
know, but I have a little business knowledge.
That's your question.
Go on.
Oh, yes, you're awesome.
You guys back and forth.
You guys are funny. You guys are funny.
Okay, so say someone's out here and you say, okay, well, we're like your affiliate marketing. How do you decide or how do you approach what affiliate you want to be affiliated with?
Typically, it's a program or a process or a product that you currently use and you love it.
And you just contact them?
Yeah. A lot of times if it's like, let's say it's a software like repurpose.io, it's a software, it's a website, right? Typically it's down at the bottom. You just scroll down the bottom of the website and it'll say affiliate or partner with us. And you just click on it. Amazon, you go to the bottom of Amazon, partner with us. Yeah. So you just click
It's
on it and apply.
everywhere,
It
Audra.
is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling
Everywhere.
that now.
Yeah.
Because there's this one thing that I'm really trying to do at this point that I haven't.
Have we talked about that?
I don't know.
But
But I'm working on it. And it's
Cool.
not, there's not a link there. It's kind of like tapped territory.
Then you need to FaceTime them.
I need something.
Google it. Whatever the product is, affiliate program, Google it.
Okay.
And you'll probably find it if they have one.
Okay, I'll leave the phone down. I already put on Do Not Disturb. No,
that's how you find it.
I have gotten a response back to them, and they said, we want to go over to the marketing team for you.
Oh.
Is basically where I've gotten in that process. Are you impressed?
I am impressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that might be more of a brand partnership versus an affiliate program.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I want not only the brand partnership, but I want a sponsorship of that particular thing.
Okay.
That's kind of where I'm at in my head on that one thing. But I love this whole the whole world that you're opening up right
Yes.
here to affiliate.
Amazing. I think Coach Purse has an affiliate program. I'm just saying.
And okay, Lamar, do you have something to say?
No, go.
Okay. I'm ready for you. I mean, it's fine. I'll have it.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, now I lost it.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
it's
so sorry.
gone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like all of it, and I love the course because I like the ability to be able to sell the course too, because that's where I was at. Because a lot of times in life, the last 6 years, our life has got turned on its head, and where we thought we were going to be financially. I mean, I had a very successful business. My wife had a successful business. Her health showed up with a problem, and I mean, we were supposed to be in a different place now. So now, because of that, and I'm not going to fret about it because again, that's the entrepreneur spirit in me.
Right.
You learn to pivot.
Yeah.
You learn, and so I look at this as an opportunity to be able to create some things that are like a passive income.
Yeah.
As well, that and I'm not going to just do one thing. I want to do more than that, but always learning. That's the entrepreneur in me as well. But I see an opportunity here, and then when I was introduced to your course and began to go through it, like, oh yeah, this will work. And here's the other thing: I've also followed people that did this same thing, and I've watched them create a lot of wealth with this model. So it's just like, and I'm like, I can do that.
Yeah, you can. You're amazing at this.
You can
stuff.
do that.
I'm gonna.
Here's what I'm going to tell you.
And to
okay?
meet you in person.
Right. So here's what I'm going to
night.
tell you. What I've learned.
Funny right now.
What I've learned just recently with this whole model and the space, the way it's turned so scammy, spammy, and yucky, and that's the only words that I got to describe it right now, because you've got people that are just out for the money. They're not really out to help people. And an entrepreneur, a business owner, is in business to help people.
They should be.
Photographer, they help people, right?
Yep.
We really try.
Okay. Anybody that's in business, a lawn mowing service, they help people mow their lawn for people that can't do it. I pay to get my lawn mowed. I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
right?
right.
So people are in business to help other people. If you're just in business to make money, that's only going to take you so far. And then it's gonna run out. So I hope you make several $1 million that last you for the rest of your life, because it will run out if you are not in business to help other people. Plain and simple.
No,
Yeah,
I
great
mean,
truth.
that's the point of it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the point of existing
Yes.
and your purpose on this planet, because I don't care how much money you've made. I've heard this from millionaires, trillionaires. That's not what brings them contentment. That's
Correct.
not what fulfills them. It's a tool and it can be used, but that's not what fulfills them.
Right.
So then my question to you is, where you're at in your business right now, tell me a little bit about how that's taken off, and has your life changed dramatically financially?
Yes.
Okay.
So Lipo got really, we were one of the top two. I was one of the top two alongside a Roadmap. So Roadmap is the original. I came in second, and I launched like 2 months after they did. So because I already knew what I was doing.
Right.
So I was a close runner up to like them in their community. I built my community to over 15,000 people. I then decided I wanted more. The platform I was teaching on was like a free platform. It had limitations. Like there was no CRM, customer relations management tool, where I could track my customers, track my orders. There was really no automation in there except for like work emails, like sending out emails. I needed more. Like I wanted to be able to schedule my social media. I wanted to be able to do automations to my social media. I wanted to be able to answer all of my social platforms in one place, so I'm not going to Instagram and Facebook and TikTok.
Yeah.
I wanted to go into one place and answer all my messages. So I came across this platform, Go High Level, and it was a white label, who shall remain nameless, a white label, and I went over there and it turned into a complete shit show. Sorry for my language,
No, it's
but
fine.
it did. It was a nightmare. So it lasted about 10 days and I was like, shut it down. We need to change this, do this, do this. He did it. And it was still just, he could not support my members. That was the bottom line. My members weren't getting the help and the support that they needed. And unfortunately, I didn't have any control. He had all of the control now. And I'm like, okay, I don't like this. So I had to leave. And then there was a lot of underhanded background stuff that was happening I didn't know about, but I did find out about. So I'm like, we got to go, and we got to go now. So I ended up creating my own agency under Go High Level. So I've got my own software now, and I just moved everybody over there. And it was seamless, if I might add, if I could pat myself on the back for just a minute. It was seamless transition right over there. Everybody had access to the course, the community. It was like nothing happened, right? Of course, you're going to have your complainers and your whiners, help me, help me, help me. They're not part of the 1%. I'm just going to put that out there right now, okay? Those people that made it kind of like yucky, I guess you could say. But we built that community back up to over 9,000 people. So now, again, I'm in the business of taking care of other people's customers. That's literally what I'm doing, and that's not what I want to do. So what I am doing is I am pivoting. I'm moving. I'm trying to create a movement to put Lipo Max back to the MRR business model, where you can still sell it, but you got to download the videos, upload them to your platform of your choice, and you sell the course over there. Have a nice day. It was very nice knowing you. I don't make any money whether you sell it or not. So I got people that are like, well, I'm not going to sell that anymore. I don't care. I don't make any money when you do sell it, so don't sell it. I don't care. It is still a very comprehensive, very beginner-friendly, all-you-need course if you want to start your own business. But what I'm learning is more is not always better. People think the more I put in here, the better my course will be. And all that's doing is that's overwhelming your customers more.
It is.
People don't need more. People need targeted. So now I'm starting to shift, and I'm going to start actually helping people with the specific problems that they have, like IG profile profit secrets.
Can that go under coach?
Yes.
And
Business
that
coach.
be a whole different financial
Yes.
level of what people, because we're hearing a lot of times on our show here that everything changed when they got a coach.
It did. And it did for me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I went from. I think I made $12,000 one year from an affiliate program I was selling, $12,000. To the next year I was doing MRR, I had a coach, to $308,000 that year.
Stop. Can you take me to Starbucks?
Yeah. Yeah. You want to star me? So I went from 5 figures to multiple 6 figures in a period of 8 months.
That's so cool.
I know. I was like, I pinch me, please. Somebody pinch me, because I didn't realize it was I'm like, is this really happening? But then the platform that I left ended up, hijacking my intellectual property, right? They just took my course like
That's
they
a
owned
problem.
it. That is a huge problem. So there is a lawsuit, so I can't say a whole lot about it, but that's what happened, and that's what happens in business. So if I can give a tip to your audience,
Please.
copyright your products now. Copyright and trademark your stuff now.
So-
Don't wait for someone to steal it to do it.
Tell our audience and viewers where did they go? Do you have any access, or tell them where to go?
Well, I don't Google trademark. I got scammed by a trademark company.
Okay.
Over $10K. I'm so gullible. But now everything goes through my attorney. So I have this one attorney who, she's wonderful. Guts, grit, glory, guts and grit. Heather Pierce. She's wonderful. But she's the one that I go to and I'm like, hey, I want to trademark this. She's like, all right, let me send you over the paperwork. She helps businesses in all states. She is a lawyer for small entrepreneurs, for small business
And
owners.
would you say her business is attainable financially to
Yes, 100%.
small business?
Yes, 100%. Not over expensive. She doesn't nickel dime you. She's her prices have been very, very fair for me. And she has helped me with the whole lawsuit in the beginning to give me some advice and legal counsel and stuff like that. She did all of my policy, privacy, terms and conditions, distribution rights for my, product, courses, websites, everything. So that I'm legally ready, and that's one thing that a lot of people, they don't want to spend the money on, is to get legally ready. And you got to do it now before it's too late, before it's oh, they took my stuff and now you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a great point for any entrepreneur, any business owner. You need to have a good lawyer,
Yes.
somebody that somebody that knows you, that you can talk to about these things, because
100%.
you're going to face something.
yes.
Yeah,
Right.
you know that too.
Yes.
And you're going to face something. It's good to have that person to sound off to, get advice from.
And I don't have her on retainer or anything. It's not like I'm paying a
Right.
retainer or nothing. I just send her a text or I send her an email.
Yep.
I'm like, hey, when you get a minute, can you give me a call? And then we'll talk, and then I'll get a bill.
Right.
You know what I mean? So she's an entrepreneur's attorney. And if you find one like that, that's the best way to go, rather than, unless you're, making millions of dollars and you can, have someone on retainer. But for small business owners just getting started, that's what I recommend highly.
I mean, really though, what else would you need to have it a lawyer retaining on if you've copyrighted it and you've trademarked it? What else
Well,
would you
as you-
need other than to
Yeah.
defend that?
Right. So as you grow, you might get additional websites, you might get additional assets, anything else that you need down the line. So, and also, again, I don't have her on retainer, so anytime I have a question that I'm like, I don't know, what would I do in this situation, I can call her and know that I would be in the right. So they're
Right.
not
This
doing
is
or
this
saying
is
something.
such great information.
Thank you.
For
Yeah, it is.
our
It helped
Listen.
me. Let me tell you, I wish somebody would have told me. I'm always the last one to hear, but I'm always the one to spread the news, because I believe everybody should be protected. And I'm not one for gatekeeping. I'm just not, because
you can tell that.
I struggled so much in the beginning to get a business of some sort started.
And you just needed help, and nobody helped
did,
you, and now you
right.
want to be the helper.
Yes,
And
exactly.
you still want to be paid for it, which is fair.
Right.
It's very fair.
Right. So I just launched September. Well, I launched it back in August, but I just launched it and opened it September 9th, my 12-week launch boot camp. And I've only got 25 seats available. Already they're full. I got 25 people, 25 wonderful women that are inside of the launch boot camp, and they are loving what they're learning. And I'm totally in my happy place now. I love it.
You can tell your whole face is different right there.
I love it. So we have meetings twice a week, because I'm also an accountability coach. And remember, I was in the Army. So I don't take no crap, right?
No.
What are you doing? Where's your homework? Why aren't you done? Where you been?
Yeah.
I'm going to hold you accountable. So if you want someone that's going to mentor you, you want someone that's going to hold you accountable and drag you by the hair going, what are you doing? I'm here. That's me.
That's so great.
That's who I am. So these girls are learning so much. They're getting outside of their comfort zone. I'm having all of them create a course and they're freaking out. I love it. And I hope they hear this. They're totally freaking out, but they're also, their lights are starting to turn on. I can see them getting really, really dim and turning on and getting brighter and brighter every time we talk, because now they're starting to understand. Whereas when they were just inside a lipo, they were still like, I don't get this. I don't understand. I've got all the pieces. But when you have a coach and when you have a mentor that can put it all together for you, it changes the game for you.
It does.
Wow.
It does.
What is the best way to get started? I know that is full. When you open it after this 12 weeks, are you only taking as much as you can manage, or are you going to put other people in that spot? Like, are you just going to take 25 more?
Just 25 more. So I want to keep it small,
Okay.
private, intimate. I want to be able to help everybody. I
Okay.
want everybody to come across. No soldier left behind. I want everybody to
That's
come.
so cool.
I want everybody to come across that finish line. So one of the things is I use Trello for an accountability board, and it's kind of like note taker. Trello is amazing. Trello is life. Hashtag Trello is life.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I do it like this. My kids get so mad. They're like, Mom, it's like this. I'm
Mom, it's
"No."
like this. It's like this.
I know.
So I actually do little Loom videos, and I'm like, hey, just checking in on you. I see you haven't really made it past week 2, so I'm just making sure everything's okay. Are you stuck with anything? So I had all of them that were like, that was amazing. Like, that's what I'm here for. Like, you're not forgotten about. You're not just in some course. Good luck with the course. Have a nice day. No, I'm going to drag your butt across the finish line.
Okay, so are you comfortable with sharing the price point of
Sure.
that particular?
Sure.
What is the price
So
point?
I started it. This is my very first boot camp, and I started it at $2,500 a seat, and it's 12 complete weeks. Everything done for you. 2 calls a week. Actually, technically, we have 4 because I do 2 open office hours. So it's just come on in if you got a question. It's not a sit around and chat kind of thing. If you have a question, come pop in for the hour. We'll help you out, right? I will be opening it once a year. That's it.
Gotcha.
Right. So the next one will be in April.
Okay.
And when I looked at the whole time for marketing, because again, you have to look at the landscape. You have to look at the marketplace. When is the best time to launch? When is the best time to sell? When is the best time not to sell? You've got to know all of that. So going through this past year, the time I'm in right now, not the best time to sell. Okay. But like now is September. September's a great month to sell. But if I started my boot camp in October, that brought me into where? Christmas,
Yeah.
right?
Not
Not a
good.
good time,
Holidays,
right?
And January is
Right?
definitely not it.
And then February, I'm like, give them a break, a little breather. They're getting their tax returns back, right? Okay. So March, I'm going to start promoting the next round of boot camp in April. April, May, June. People are getting started for summer, going on vacations. They're all done, right? So the rest of the year is kind of like out. So once a year, I'm going to launch it. I'm going to do it again with 25 seats. And that's only because it's not about the money for me. The money's great. Like you said, it's like an additive. It's seeing these women's lives transform is what does it for me.
Yeah.
Like all of these women, not all of them, but a lot of them thought they had to sell the course. I have to teach people how to make money online. Why? What? Why? Like, you bought this course, you're learning a couple of things. So I would, reach out to them and I'd be like, would you consider yourself a coach, a business coach? And they were like, oh, no. How long have you been in the space? About 8 months. Probably not the space for you. So what do you know really well? What can you do really well? What can you teach off the top of your head without looking at a piece of paper? And they all started coming up with these ideas. And, oh, my God, we're going to have courses about, using holistic medicine for anti-aging. We got gardening. We got craft making, wreath making. We've got meal planning, mom's meal planning. Oh, my God.
That's huge.
Right?
Yes. No, huge.
Right? So I'm seeing all of these ideas come out, and it's coming from them. And it's totally different from...
It is, but it is instigating other thoughts in your head as well. I can totally see that.
But I love watching them get those aha moments. and realizing that it doesn't have to be as hard as it seems, because these ladies have been around for a while and not making any progress. And just in the 3, we're on week number 4 right now, just in the 3 short weeks, they're already like, wow, like they're starting to get it. The wheels are starting to turn. Everything's starting to click for them now.
And their ROI is probably getting right up there with.
Yes. Well, we're going to get into, so week 5 starts next week. I combined week 3 and 4 because that's the week I make them create a course. We're talking record a video, download a video, put it in a course area. Yeah. So 3 and 4 is a big week. So week 5 is your sales funnel. So we're going to have them do the funnels and stuff. And I'm teaching everything as easy as absolutely possible to make it easy for people. So it's not something that's just giant monster like, funnels. So I'm having the time of my life. The absolute time of my life with these women. And what I've done is I've taken a lot of the stuff off my plate, because a lot of people think I have to sell a ton of stuff in order to make a ton of money. No. My recommendation is you pick one product, one platform, one audience, and go all in for 1 year. Don't sell anything else for 1 year. And you will get super good at marketing that product, to the point where you're going to be like, oh, that's all I had to do? Okay, well, let me make another product and I'll do it with that one. And now you already know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe 6 months down the road, if your product is selling super good, you run ads. You put some gasoline on that fire and you run ads. And that's how you bring in that additional passive income.
So for like Lamar, I know you're mentioning a lot of women stuff, but Lamar has, he's all in this world with you. So how is it comfortable for you when it's women targeted? It seems more women targeted
for
than,
me now.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. I think I don't. I know men and women are different, and that I'm thankful for that, because I love my wife. But I think that doesn't bother me. I think it's great. I love the idea of women empowering women, and the reason I do is because I saw that in my own wife's life. When she started her business, so like, I can't do this. I'm not educated. I'm not smart enough. I can't do. She's a freaking rock star.
Nice.
She did it. She started a brick and mortar business. She figured out all the financing. It was a franchise. She went through all the hoops for that. All I did was help her with her build out and I didn't really understand how empowered she was until she got sick. I had to step into that space. I had to learn everything about her business because I didn't know a whole lot.
And
I lived with her.
You did a great job. I would just like to put it out there. You did.
But I realized something. So, and I thought, so how in the world did she do this and figure this out?
Right.
So I love that part of it.
Yeah.
But I also know, obviously, there's differences. We talk about TikTok. Every time we put a video up of TikTok, her face, my face, I'll do it on purpose for fun, side by side. She always outdoes me, like probably 4 times as many views. I'm okay with that. I understand how all that works.
Love it.
But I also know, for me, it's not just about me as well. It's also about my family, taking care of my family, things of that nature. But as a guy, there's guy things I love. And that's something I can do.
Yeah, you're taking away. You've been talking to me about her for a good...
Yeah, for a long time. But things have evolved.
9
the other platform, Fiasco, I lived through that with you guys. And I was like, oh my God. And I love the platform right now.
Yeah.
I think it's phenomenal. I was
It
like,
is.
good night.
Yes.
This is really cool. So I think that also another thing is like, continue to be willing to learn, because this landscape is constantly changing. And that's one of the things you addressed recently when your meetings. The landscape's changing. You got to pivot. You got to learn. You got to grow.
You got to change
and
with
that's
it.
part of
if
it.
you want to stick around for any length of time, you have to learn how to overcome challenges.
Yeah. And what good is it going to? I'm going to get mad. I'm going to get mad.
I can't
What good
wait.
is that going to do?
What good is what going to do?
Getting mad over it. It's ridiculous.
They'll feel better if they vent, I guess. I don't.
Learn to
Yeah,
pivot
women are
and grow.
venters. Like we do need to vent at least.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Like
Yeah.
all the women that kind of attacked me last night were all women. So
Stop it.
they were.
But I understand. because
Get a stuffed toy and talk to that. Stop.
Some of them were mean. Some of them were
It's
mean.
not nice.
But I thought I handled it pretty well. People,
Yes.
I honestly was preparing for the worst. And it really wasn't as bad as I thought, to be
Good.
honest with you. It really wasn't as bad as I thought. They took the news. I had a lot of people that were like, hey, Michelle, we appreciate so much what you've done. You've done so much for us. So there was a lot of that, and I was so thankful for that. And I think because we had a good bit of those people on, that it kind of lessened the blow for all of
Yeah, and I think the relationship's important to try to develop that, because that can take some of the sting out of that.
Right.
But here's the other thing too that I looked at with this last night, because I was like, or just recently, just looking at this, it was like, oh my goodness. But you know what? It's going to help a lot of people
It
grow.
is. Yeah.
You're going to
100%.
learn some stuff.
Yep.
You're going to have to put your feet to the fire.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're cut out to do this, that's what you're going to do.
And that's what's going to happen. Again, they're just going to go to another MRR course that allows them to dump their people somewhere if that's
Right.
allowed. If the other MRR course creators can actually get on board and complete this movement and turn their course either into an affiliate program or into the actual MRR business model, and force these business owners to be a business owner and take care of your customers.
Right.
Yeah,
It'll change.
I think especially with digital creation and digital things, I don't know that you take it as seriously as the business owner sometimes as when I walk into our studio.
Correct.
Like, this is my space. I pay
Right.
for this space. Like, I work for this space.
Yep.
And that mindset needs to happen on this, digital platform.
100%.
But I will tell you this, I will admit this to anyone. I don't like social media personally. That doesn't mean I am terrible at it.
Right.
I will go on a live anytime, drop the ball. I will have a funny story about whatever. But when it comes to like Daniel and I's business at Adams Lane photography, it's more difficult for me to get on here and say, look how great we are.
Right.
Let me tell you how great we are.
Right.
Because we've got clients here that when they're coming to photography for the first time, they're nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there and Daniel's there to make them as comfortable as possible.
Right.
We recently just brought on social media help so that behind the scenes, I don't have to worry about that. I can be zoned in. Daniel can be zoned in.
That's awesome.
To what we need to do. But there's so much more that we need to step up our game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a little intimidating for both of us. And we've been this place didn't build itself.
No.
And so there's only so many places on the plate. But we're at the point that it's got to grow. And we do believe in ourselves. This podcast is going to grow.
Yeah.
It already is.
Yeah.
But it's going to grow even more than that. And it's going to morph into different things. And we've already got those things that are planned in those dreams, but they're not pipe dreams anymore because
Right.
we know how to do it.
Yes.
So,
And that's the difference.
And we've seen the results, and we've heard about it in our community,
Yeah.
as well. And there's nothing wrong with being humble. I think that's an important, genuine thing that we need to
Yes.
have. But it's still, the value is great. You guys do a phenomenal job. I know you don't want to pat yourself on the back, but I'll pat you on the back because you do a great job. And the same thing too with you, Michelle, is that course that you put together, what you structured, it is way more valuable than what it is offered for.
Right.
And I've made that comment. It's like this is at least 10 times
Right.
or more
Right.
valuable in the education that it provides, the skills that it provides in that arena. So I think it's great.
Well, coming from like having a program that was $5,000, like that's out
Yeah.
of people's range.
Right.
Oh, we got taken for that scam. Oh, yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I
I
do.
wanted to make it affordable
Yeah.
for the little person that wanted to get started but didn't have $5,000.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was like it was a course, and I mean, Daniel, I don't know how you want to say it, but I mean, it was just not, the value of it was not what we put into it.
Right.
And then the hours upon hours that you were sifting through,
Yep.
and then we were going as partners going, what chapter are you at? Where are we at?
Right.
We need to do this and we need to do that. And it was just overwhelming. And now that's it. There's some parts of it that I took away from it, but most of it I have a bad feeling about. It's like it left me with a negative taste in my mouth about that.
That's rough. And that's
Yeah.
and unfortunately you'll be a little more gun shy going for the next mentor, the next group, the next coaching program because of that experience.
Well,
Sure.
I agree with that, but I think that somebody like you who's confident, and I will also say I am more confident, and this was 2.5 years ago. I'm more confident in our product and the way that what we put out, whether
Right.
it be this podcast or our photography. I'm way more confident in that.
Yeah. See?
And so I don't have as much trouble believing in myself and going, oh, are you some sort of poser
Right.
in this game? No,
Yeah.
I'm not. Look
Right.
around. No.
Right.
And that's something that Daniel and I have done together, and then Lamar in this, space.
Right.
So anyway, unless you have another question.
Yeah, I think what I love about this space is it gives an opportunity to our listeners and viewers to see many different aspects of business, being an entrepreneur, being a small business owner. We can see that here, but also the thing, again, and I've said it probably way too many times. I'm sure Daniel will tell me about this afterward. We're trying to capture a story behind the person.
Yeah.
And I think anybody can sense if that is genuine
Right.
or not.
Right.
What your passion is,
Yeah.
your desire to help people. And we've seen that time and time again here in this space.
Yeah.
And I think this is an awesome platform to be able to get out that information, your brand, what you're providing.
Absolutely.
And for the
Yeah.
community to see,
So
that person.
For number, I know you have a number of things, but I want our
Viewers and listeners.
Yeah, viewers and listeners to know where you want them to go first. Exactly where you want.
to
What's
find
your
you.
website? How to find
Okay.
you? Your socials. I want all of that.
Okay.
And I know there could be several, so just to go ahead and name them.
Okay. So I do have a website, ladywealthwarrior.com.
Okay.
I have Instagram, Lady Wealth Warrior. I have TikTok, Lady Wealth Warrior. I have a Facebook page, Lady Wealth Warrior, and I have an absolutely free Facebook group where I provide additional value and free trainings every other week, Lady Wealth Warriors.
So you just
I am rebranding, and that's what I am branding to, Lady Wealth Warrior, and that's kind of where I'm moving to. So it's not that we don't help men. That's just my focus. So if men want to, because I have several men that are in my Facebook group right now. I know men want to learn. So we will just call them Wealth Warriors, not Lady Wealth Warriors. So they're still Wealth Warriors.
That's who you are.
Right? Wealth
You're a
Warrior.
wealth
Sure.
warrior.
Yeah.
Put on your armor.
Because, right? See,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, that's where you can find me on all my socials. I kind of rebranded. So, I do have, still the Michelle Sparky Instagram because I'm still starting. I just barely started this about a month ago. And I'm so excited about it and where it's going and where it's heading and how many people's lives I can transform.
Well, we want to
cool.
watch your journey and be a part of it.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, for me, thank you so much for
Thank
coming and taking your time today.
Yes.
It's really invaluable to us, and I think that it is invaluable to anyone who watches this.
Thank you so
So
much.
go and look at Lady Wealth Warriors on all of the things that she has just mentioned. The other thing we would love for you to do is check out Legacy Podcast Studio. We are on all of the socials on YouTube because this is a video forward podcast. Sometimes you learn better when you see people, and then we're on Apple and Spotify. So sometimes you learn better when you just hear it. Any way that you learn, we intend to bring you value with every show that we come to you with in every episode. So I would ask you to do that. The last thing, I think that if you yourself want to be a podcaster and you don't know how to do that, and you don't exactly know the ins and outs of the engineering of that, we do. And we have it here. And it's something that we can do a turnkey production for you. Also, and see, I said it was the last thing, but it wasn't. The other thing that we would love your feedback. Is there a certain type of business that you want us to interview? Are there business questions that we have not addressed that you want personally we want to interact with you. So on any of those social medias, you're going to find answers at the end of your questions. So thank you so much for joining us. Lamar, do you have anything else?
Yeah, and if you're interested in sharing your brand, your story, Legacy Podcast Studio, the Small Business Leaders Podcast, it's for you. We welcome you to reach out to us.
And thank you so much.
Yep.
That's the end of this episode, and we will see you next time.